Hi, Charlie with Lube-U-Do. Today we're going to do an oil and filter change on this 2007 Toyota Prius. We've got our complete Lube-U-Do kit here ready to go. In this case, we're going to use the PG 4476 Premium Guard spin-on oil filter. We've got 4 quarts of 5W30 oil, and remember, with each kit from Lube-U-Do, you get free installation aids, including a lined box you can drain your old oil into, our patented oil diverter, and window clean. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to start by gaining access to the hood. A simple lever inside that pops that, and then there's just a little catch right here. You lift up on this, and you're able to get in, secure the hood. Okay, so just to get you oriented, we're looking at the front of the car here. The oil filler cap is located right back here on the passenger side, and the dipstick is right here in the front of the engine. We want to remove the oil filler cap, which is right back here, and it's clearly labeled for SL quality oil or better, and 5W30 weight. So we want to remove that, and it's a good idea to pop the dipstick as well so that oil doesn't get trapped in that tube. To get you oriented to this car, if you come in under the front of the car on the passenger side, this is the front passenger's tire, and this is the drain plug. This is the oil filter right around near it. So we'll start by removing that drain plug. All right, so it's a 14 millimeter socket that fits here, and I've got my socket wrench ready to go. All right, got that loose, and I can turn it with my hand now, it looks like. So I'm going to put my oil diverter in place like that, and I can still now access the drain plug from the side, but I'll know that my oil is not going to shoot too far out to miss my box. I've got my box in place down here below, oil diverter's in place, and I'm just going to take out this drain plug, and I'm going to let it fall, just let it fall down into the diverter. Okay, so you can see how that's working. You can see how that oil is wrapping back around the backside now. You could potentially miss your pan if you had it positioned way out here to catch the thing to begin with, and now it's coming back the other way. Okay, so we're down to just a few drips. I'm going to pull the diverter out of the way and retrieve the drain plug that's inside of it right there, and we'll clean that up and get it back installed. I'm going to reinstall my drain plug, and still a few drips coming out of there, but I can wipe those off. All right, and we'll reverse our ratchet so that it's set to tighten clockwise, and we'll just snug it down. Doesn't take much at all. And we'll move on to the oil filter. And towards the front of the car, here's the drain pan we were just working on. Towards the center of the car a little bit more is the oil filter, and I want to make sure I've got my drain box positioned where it's going to catch whatever may come out of there. Let me see if I can get this by hand. I put it on, so I'm figuring it's probably not too tight. Nope, gonna have to get a oil filter wrench. I've got a cap wrench here with my socket set, and I'm gonna put that on the end just to see if I can't free that up. And there, it's starting to turn, so I'll put that aside, and I can just use my hand from there. Of course, oil's gonna come out here to begin with, so we'll let that flow before we remove it completely. Okay, so the majority of that is out, and I'm going to go ahead and take it off, and just try not to drop it into the oil just because it'll splash. So keep a little pressure on it. You'll feel when it comes loose. It'll be a little bit, heavy because it's full of oil. Okay, and then tip it in to drain out the rest of the way. One thing you want to make sure of is that this flat metal area here where the oil filter seals up against the engine, you want to make sure that that's clean and that there's no rubber left behind from the gasket of the old filter, because it's important that the new filter be able to seat well on that to seal up. So we've got our new filter here, and I've taken some fresh oil and put it around this rubber gasket, because you want to be sure that this can slide easily around that mount when you screw in this new filter. So I got fresh oil on there, and I'll simply put this on the threads and get it started by hand. And that was simple. And once you feel it come in contact, you want to go another 3/4 to 1 turn, and then it really shouldn't be necessary for you to use a wrench the next time you change it. It ought to be that you can get it off by hand. As you do this last little bit, that rubber washer gets compressed between the filter and the engine. And I think we're all set. Okay, so we're ready to put oil back in the engine, and I've wiped out my oil diverter because it's going to make a nice funnel for me. If I place it underneath there, then it holds this just exactly where I need it, because that is pretty far down in there. And I'm ready to put in my oil. So I've got a pouch of 10W30 synthetic blend here. Oil diverter's in place. Just drop it right in. Takes 3.9 quarts. You get a nice steady pour out of these pouches because you don't have air rushing back in behind to fill the void. Okay, so I have nearly 4 quarts in. I stopped a little bit short on that last one. I'm going to put the cap on, start the engine so that it can fill the oil filter, make sure I don't have any leaks, and then check my levels. Tap the gas just a little bit seems to be what makes the engine kick over. And want to make sure you don't have any warning lights. Want to check for any kind of leaks anywhere around the drain plug or the oil filter. Make sure everything is sealed up good. All right, and I want to check my dipstick for levels. I'm sure I'll have to give it a cleaning first. You can see it's got two marks, a low and a high, and you want to be between there. So we have it clean. Let's push it clear in, pull it back out, and we're right to the full mark right there. So that is that's perfect. So I'm not going to top it off any further. We will call this job done. If you like, fill out the window clean. To prepare your oil for the trip to the recycler, we include a wire tie. So you can gather your bag of oil around and cinch it up so that it's ready for the trip to the recycler. All right, I want to show you how to reset the oil light in this car. If you don't put your foot on the brake and just turn it to the accessory position, you want to get it to where you can see the odometer. So I think you push it twice. Yep. And then hit this odometer trip key. You want to make sure that that thing is on ODO up there on the dash rather than on either of the two trips. That should be on ODO. And then you turn the car off, and this takes 2 hands, but you hold down this ODO trip while you hit the start button. Okay, and you'll see those little marks on the dashboard go away 1, 2, 3 at a time, and it comes back to 0, and then the maintenance light goes off and your reset